What's wrong? Nothing.
Oh, and I do have a...
Butterflies.
Hormones rage and friendships falter in Carol Morley's pungent tale of an epidemic of fainting that strikes an English girls' school in the late 1960s. Game of Thrones graduate Maisie Williams leads the charge, prostrating herself in the classroom and the gardens and implicitly inviting everyone else to live the dream as well. Girls are such a mystery, aren't they, Peter?
They certainly are to me, and I think their mystery was converted into something very fruitful here. I liked and admired it very much. I think it is fascinatingly unclassifiable, it's strange, it's tapped into a certain kind of elusive kind of Englishness. It reminded me of lots of different things. It reminded me of albums by Nick Drake and Syd Barrett and John Millow's Portrait of Ophelia. It's also, obviously, to some extent, inspired by Peter Weir's Picnic at Hanging Rock, but I think translated very interestingly to a very English setting, and it plays with genre. It's not quite clear whether it's supposed to be a psychological thriller, or a psychological horror, or a drama, or a comedy, or a tragicomedy, or all of the above, or none of the above. And I found that endlessly stimulating. I could very happily sit down and watch it again. I thought it was great.
I liked it a lot, but all the influences that Peter was saying, I thought that they were... You could almost kind of see the cuffs and the hemline showing on it, that it felt that it was all kind of clogged in there a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit, and also it's sort of a bit Peter Strickland, you know, with nature and sex and quick shots of that.
Yeah, a lot of sort of subliminal imagery kind of popping up.
Which is a little tiny bit cheap.
The things which I have seen, I now can see no more.
I really wanted to like this. I was very, very excited to see it. And so, as with any experience like that, I suppose it's always a bit of an anticlimax. And it was very anticlimactic for me, I fear to say. I can sort of see what Peter means, but it just didn't do it for me in those ways. The hothouse thing didn't quite come through, and the playing of it felt very kind of not panto, but you know, Greta Scacchi and Maxine Peake. They're broad brushstrokes. Those.
Greta Scacchi, I don't think Greta Scacchi is as big as all that. I mean, I've known teachers who were much bigger than that, to be honest with you. I mean, I've known teachers who are kind of grosser and nastier and more obviously cantankerous and distempered than that.
There's a lot of stories you've
got
to tell.
Yes, our own outbreak of hysterical fainting that we had. But what I loved was the fact that the hysterical fainting itself wasn't simply a matter of displaced or suppressed sexuality. Is it the fact that they are in touch with, the fainting has put them in touch with a kind of creativity?
Yeah, it's a release.
It's a release, and it's creative, and it's something from which they would be disbarred in normal cases. And there is something very subversive about it, especially, I thought, fantastic scene. Again, it's big, and it's arguably melodramatic when they all start fainting in the school assembly.
Which is almost like a kind of tableau, like a religious tableau where they're all kind of going over.
A kind of agape when they're supposed to be hearing a safety talk on sort of domestic science and safety in the home. And I thought there was a kind of black comic genius to it. I mean, I take Catherine's point. It's big and viewed from certain angles, it's too big and unsubtle. But for me, it was bold and sharp and pointed. And I adored it.
Are you not going to fight for the truth? What have you been reduced to?
Prefects, get her out.
Inertia? You're all asleep. To be free, you must be conscious. Kill the system! It's killing you!